The baking fairy had made the same exact cake for 399 years. The color, size, and flavor never changed, not even a little. The queen had long grown tired of it. One day, a young fairy wanted to make something special for the queen. She asked the queen for permission to challenge the baking fairy. The queen agreed and decided to be the judge. The winner's cake would be used at the queen's 400th birthday celebration. Soon, the Fairy Valley baking contest began. The baking fairy's team appeared first. Their captain was the baking fairy herself. Her eyes could perfectly measure the taste and size of a cake. For 399 years, she had never made a single mistake. Next came the young fairy and her friends. Then the 1-hour countdown began. The young fairy quickly assigned tasks. She explained that their cake would have 6 layers. Each layer would show a part of Fairy Valley's history. On the other side, the baking fairy began her usual process. She said everything would be done just like before. She pulled out her antique baking tools, but the young fairy's tools were the newest models from Switzerland. The baking fairy was surprised, but she didn't back down. Her team worked quickly, relying on muscle memory built over centuries. The young fairy gave a command. Her friends called birds to bring in freshly harvested rice. Their flour would be ground on the spot. The baking fairy mixed flour, eggs, and spices with ease. The young fairy divided the dough into 4 equal parts and placed them in barrels. Speedy fairy mixed the dough in a flash. Flour fairy tossed out cocoa seeds, and fresh chocolate appeared instantly. The baking fairy's team also moved fast, and the base layer of their cake was baked in no time. But the young fairy's team didn't even need an oven. Light fairy handled all the baking with her glow. Both teams reached the decorating stage with just 3 minutes left. The baking fairy's team finished their cake decorations early. With 1 minute remaining, Speedy fairy used a knife to shape the cake. Then the sisters started adding final decorations. With just 5 seconds left, they completed the cake. The baking fairy presented her cake exactly the same as it had been for 400 years. The queen said it looked as beautiful as always. She took a bite and said it tasted great. Then the young fairy's team brought out their cake. The queen was amazed and said it was the most unusual cake she had ever seen. The young fairy and her team began celebrating early. But when the queen took a bite, she made a face. It tasted terrible. In the end, the young fairy's team lost the contest. So remember, never let your hobby challenge someone else's profession.